Oh, you just got dumped on. You just got dumped on. Get him, Andrew. Andrew, get him. Get him. Get him.
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped On an Info Dump Podcast. Welcome to Get Dumped On an Info Dump Podcast. The podcast where four friends get together and dump their special interest knowledge on the other ones in a hopefully funny fashion. This episode is going to be hosted by Zach about the Cambrian Explosion. I'm also joined here by Ash and Bo and myself, Andrew. So, yeah, hopefully you've been listening this whole time.
I've got my learning hat on.
Yeah.
Oh, for
learning
a second,
hats
I thought you
are
said
on.
Mine off.
I was like, who's Drew? Because I thought you said myself and Drew. And I was like, what? Who's Drew?
Oh, cut it. So, yeah, this should be episode 6. So hopefully you have been listening this entire time and learning and growing and laughing with us. And you already know the drill, so I don't have to explain it to you. So, Zach, what's up?
Oh, hey, everybody. This is the podcast episode.
I thought we agreed to no voices.
What the fuck is happening?
We agreed to no voices.
Okay. So
What
do you
voice
think
was that?
That was my like my early, like my 60s radio guy voice.
Please do it again.
Hey, you're listening to Get Dumped On the Infograph Podcast. This is 5 minutes past the hour. We're going to be talking about the Cambrian Explosion, #1 hit from 540 million years ago, which was responsible for the origins of almost every known phylum of life. Let's take it away.
Not listen to anything you were saying other than the fact that it sounded like you had cotton balls in your cheeks.
I was doing, if you could only see, I was holding my mouth in quite the interesting position. It was kind of uncomfortable.
Now do it.
So did that happen? Like, in the 60s or whatever? Did they put marbles in their mouth before they talked on the radio? Because, like, I know Casey Kasem talk like that.
Oh, that's way better than my Casey Kasem.
Do your Casey Kasem while we're off track.
This is Casey Kasem coming in hot. We're doing the radio. I stopped voicing Shaggy because they wouldn't make him vegetarian.
I'm here to talk about the Cambrian Explosion.
I'm not a very good improviser. I don't know. My improv skills aren't really where they used to be. Okay,
Sorry,
so
let's get going.
all right. So let's set the scene. It's 540 million years ago. The lands are barren. There are no plants on land at all. It's a bunch of mountains and volcanoes. The planet is pretty unrecognizable to whatever you might think. Not just because there's no plants anywhere, but because nothing is really where you'd expect it to be. The history of the continents is kind of a series of the plates shifting around and basically forming a supercontinent and then breaking up. So, like, have you heard of Pangea?
Oh, that was my first question. Is this Pangea?
No.
This bitch don't know about Pangea.
So this is pre-Pangea. This is before Pangea.
Oh my god, pre-Pangea. The
yeah.
real OGs know about pre-Pangea.
Yeah.
So
it was actually pre-Pangea. Bo, you're an expert in pre-Pangea. What was it?
It's like the
Before Pangea, certainly.
Before, pre. We used to go by Angina.
Angina.
Oh, so that's where the name comes from. So if you're named Gina, that's pre-Pangea.
It's Pangea.
Pangina.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's
Move
okay.
on. Sorry.
So actually, the name of the supercontinent before Pangea was called Rodinia.
That's Game of Thrones. That's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I have maybe Game of Thrones named it after whatever these scientists named it after.
And then after came Winterfell.
Then after came Rodinia. So Pangea is still a few hundreds of million years away. Pangea was mainly like the beginning of the Triassic period, was like peak Pangea times. But that is like 300 million years away, 250 million years away. It's a long time. So right now we've got 4 continents. 3 of them are kind of small, and one of them's fucking gigantic. So you've got Laurentia, which is got parts of North America. You have Siberia and Baltica, which will mash together later on to become, what we call Siberia now, that whole sort of region. And then there's Gondwana, and Gondwana is just fuck off big. It's basically like most of the entire southern hemisphere. And so there's other parts of North America are in Gondwana. South America is in Gondwana. Africa, Arabia, India, Australia, they're all mashed together as parts of Gondwana. Then there's a bunch of little islands all around. And so they're not as important, but it's kind of like these sort of like reef areas around the continents are where life kind of the sort of bare forms of life are most prevalent.
This is still pre-Pangea?
So this is still pre-Pangea. Pangea's don't think about Pangea right now. It's far away.
I can't
But
stop
I
thinking
love
about
Pangea.
it. I can't stop.
We're less pre-Pangea, more post-Rodinia.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That sounds like a sweet band name.
Pre-Pangea or
Post-Rodinia?
Post-Rodinia, like that sounds like a sweet like prog rock band name.
That would be pretty sweet. And so the glaciers there, basically we had a snowball Earth for a while there where everything was frozen. It's been thawing out, getting warmer. And that was, a couple 100 billion years before, and million, I mean. And the glaciers have melted, and the sea level is about 30 meters, so about 100 feet above where it is right now. And by the end
all ocean all the time.
Yeah, and by the end of the Cambrian, it'll be 90 meters above what it is right now. Because the sea level's just rising the whole time. How much is 90 meters in feet?
Why is it rising?
Because the glaciers are melting. It's getting warmer, and the glaciers are
Because
melting.
it was all covered in ice, and then it's just been warming and warming and warming.
Interesting.
Yeah, right now it's so low because so much of that ice is that water is frozen into the polar ice caps.
Okay, so now that all the ice caps are melting.
You asked what 90 meters was in feet?
Yeah.
295.
Okay, so
they're
Sorry,
they're
go ahead.
remelting now. So you're saying that we're going back to a pre-Pangeic state currently?
Perhaps. The Earth is really, if you look back into it, the Earth's history is basically like 4.5 billion years of just melting and thawing, thawing and freezing and thawing and freezing.
I don't think
And
it was
we're
that
in
old.
we're just
Religion told me.
I was gonna say that sounds like me every year. I'm so always cold, then it's just way too hot. There's no middle ground.
we're coming out of a freeze now. We are naturally supposed to be coming out of a freeze, but it's being made much worse and much faster by humans belching all of our gases into the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I can't stop.
USA.
Oh, don't blame just us.
All right, so going back to it is 540 million years ago. The Earth is about, and I'm just going to give you some context for what like evolution on the planet has done so far, just so that you can kind of get an idea of how much of like an explosion of life happens in the Cambrian. So at this point, 540 million years ago, the Earth is about 4 billion years old, and life has been on the planet for 3 billion years. So the Earth was basically a lifeless rock for about 1 billion years before any life started to show up.
Me too.
And for what?
I said me too. I'm a lifeless rock.
And for the longest time, it was basically just little single-celled microbes that were just kind of formed these like microbial mats on the ocean floor then about another like 500 million years after that, the first bacteria that could photosynthesize evolved. And so they combined the water and the sunlight and turned that into energy and then farted out oxygen. And this was actually what introduced oxygen into the environment. Before this, there was no oxygen.
So you're saying we have a big thanks for these things, because without these guys, we're screwed. We can't breathe.
Pretty much, exactly.
We'd be walking
the
around like,
interesting thing-
Well, we wouldn't be walking around at all because we never would have evolved.
yeah, we've been like,
Mhm.
We would have still been
Thirsty
little
for
single-celled
air.
organisms in those hydrothermic vents, just being like.
That sounds
I've
fucking
decided
awesome,
that's the sound
honestly.
they make,
That's a good noise.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's a good-
great. I would
it's a
love
good
that
one.
because I wouldn't have to pay any bills.
right? Though,
Exactly. I would love to be.
and it's 700,000 degrees all the time. I don't know the actual temperature of a hydrothermic vent, but I know it's a lot.
I could
It's
live with
very
that.
It's
hot.
probably billions.
But
of
no
degrees.
bills though. Something
Yeah.
to think about. If you told me I didn't have any bills for any more for the rest of my life, and you're like, but you have to live in a place with 700,000 degrees, I'd consider it.
You can strongly consider it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the Cambrian explosion?
We're getting to that.
Okay,
So it's been 10
It's
minutes.
been a very
I'm
long
setting
lead up
the
to I
scene.
don't know what this is about.
It's because it's from Coheed and Cambria.
He's gonna read their entire discography song by song.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Real quick though, before we move on, the amount of
Mm-hmm.
people that use "Wake Up" by Coheed and Cambria as their wedding songs baffles me,
But it sounds cute.
because that is not a
How
love
does-
song.
People don't listen to lyrics.
Oh my
like
God.
they don't. Most people don't.
It's about a guy who broke up with his wife and is on a plane flying away from her, telling her that she needs to wake up.
Wake up!
ugh. That doesn't sound like a very good wedding song. The only
It's a fucking
Coheed
beautiful song, though. But yeah, people
that I
are like,
can think
"Oh,
of.
it's my first dance." Like, it's about divorce.
It's like all the people that play "Rolling in the Deep" at their weddings. It's like that's a breakup song. It's about breaking up.
Oh, yeah,
or
like,
every
yeah.
breath you take.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
stealing
for,
somebody's
especially
soul
for
away.
father-daughter dances and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. Can you sing me a few bars of Wake Up? Because the only Coheed song I can think of off the top of my head is Favor House Atlantic.
Love that song.
Are we gonna get in trouble for this?
Bo's gonna do it.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do it. My throat hurts, and I'm sick, and my hair's not done.
I could
Okay.
hear that. I was wondering why you sounded a little off.
I don't sound
I mean,
off.
you
I
might-
was lying.
God, he's so honest. I think if we did sing it on here, well, you honestly might could do CMA. So I'll send it to you later. But
I
it's
believe
just
we can do
it's not
15
a.
I think,
It also is not relevant at all to the point of the.
It's
Cambrian
Cambria.
Explosion.
I think we can do 15
Coheed.
seconds is allotted,
Cambria.
and everything else is paid for.
Mhm.
Sorry, Zach, go on.
Okay, so all right, so we're
Listen
going
to
back
Bo.
into it.
What?
And for record, yeah, I have 2 pages of notes, but we're already halfway through the first page. So like it's not that much. It's not that crazy.
That's so much.
Okay, so it's 540 million years ago. Multicellular life at this point is still a new concept. It has only evolved about 300 million years ago, and essentially all it is are things that look like plants but aren't plants and sea sponges. So SpongeBob is in full effect. We've got SpongeBobs all over the place, but they're pretty much the only, like, they're the main form of like multicellular life, which is kind of bonkers.
Bo, could you do your best SpongeBob impression for us while we're on the topic?
No.
What?
That's it. No.
What was that?
What
Me
What'd you
saying
say?
no. No, I said no.
Oh,
No. Oh no, that was not a SpongeBob voice.
say,
That was-
say, can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Me or is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who
Can you feel it?
else would?
I
Bo?
don't know. Sorry. Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Wow, that was spot on.
Wow. Oh my god. When Tom Kenny dies,
It's also
they can
me,
get you.
Mario.
I'll give
Ash,
them
could
your
you do
number.
that? Could you do that for us?
Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
That was really good.
Which is pretty
I like
good.
that.
It's great. Way better than mine.
All right, sorry. So keep going. Zach.
Bring it around town. Okay.
Bring it around town.
Back to current context. It's 500 million years ago. The temperatures are rising. The glaciers are melting. This is introducing more oxygen into the water. And now the existing life actually knows what to do with oxygen. And so we're seeing a big spike in sort of like the sort of little life in the water, like planktons and stuff that animals will learn how to
Plankton.
eat very shortly. Yeah, we've got sponges and plankton.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
SpongeBob.
Andrew, can you give me your best plankton impression right now?
Yes. I just at this moment forgot every single thing that Plankton has ever said.
You call yourself a
Plankton.
SpongeBob fan?
My voices are terrible right now. I can't. I'm never going to do any sort of impression ever again.
That's like when on the other podcast I kept trying to do an English accent and it just kept coming out Australian and I couldn't figure it out. But the Krabby Patty secret formula. No, that's I don't even know what that was.
It's better. It's better than mine.
Superhero kind of.
That was the superhero announcer
60s.
guy.
That was a 60s
I'm like,
superhero.
meanwhile,
It is becoming
at the
increasingly
Legion
obvious.
of Doom.
I can deny it no longer. I am small.
Superman and his
I'm
friends
small.
are in Pangea.
So, the rising ocean levels
What a good segue.
are the rising ocean levels are eroding the land masses and
Get
introducing
fucked.
more minerals into the water.
They're
you-
minerals, Marie.
minerals, and they're in the water. We've got more oxygen in the water. We've got more minerals in the water, and the state is now set for.
And the water
Cambrian
is warm, right?
Explosion.
Where it's getting
Yeah.
warm.
It's warm. There's a lot of plankton. There's a lot of oxygen, and there's a lot of minerals. So we've now got the perfect little soup for an explosion of life. Basically, what happens now is for the next 40 million years, you've got 17,000 new species of animals. So for comparison, for about 3 billion years, there was single-celled bacteria. Then multicellular life becomes a thing, and evolution just starts throwing a bunch of weird crap at the walls to see what sticks. And so you've got the first of almost every kind of animal comes out now. So you've got the first arthropods, which are now almost everything is an arthropod. So animals with exoskeletons start to appear because now the minerals are in the water that their bodies can use to form, these sorts of like calcium exoskeletons. So you've got the first mollusks, the first like clams, the first things that will eventually be like squids and octopuses. You've got the first
Like crabs and stuff?
yeah. So like you've got the very basic beginnings of what will eventually start to become crabs. You've got the first animals with legs. You've got the first animals with eyes. You've got the first predators. You've got the first things with a gut. You've got the first things with a flexible like limb. Yeah, and all kinds of fun stuff. So we've gone from very few species of animals, almost none of which have like multiple cells to speak of at all, and now you've got all of these super complex body plans, and over the course of the next 40 million years 17,000 new species will be described, and that's only like what makes it into the fossil record.
17,000, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's more than species of birds exist.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, that is more than species of birds exist.
Oh, you just got
listened to the
dumped on.
Someone would
podcast.
say that.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
got dumped.
Get
him,
I learned something
Andrew,
once.
Get him.
There we
Get
go.
him. Get him.
And one of the things, too, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, about the Cambrian explosion is that because it was like all water, there was lots of room in every niche. So like there was lots of room for speciation to occur because like they had just like it was all stuff evolving mostly in the ocean, and there was just like so much ocean, and it was all of those other factors that you mentioned.
Exactly. Yeah. So the you've got all these different factors. You've got the main ocean, and so every single one of these species of animal is also like living in the water and in these spaces, kind of like around the continents. And so most of the animals that we know of are from a rock formation called the Burgess Shale, which is named after a guy whose last name was Burgess. Which is great. I don't know why I brought this up because I don't know his first name. So I feel like I shouldn't have
It's
said
probably
this if I haven't.
It's Gibbles.
Gibble Sturgis. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gibbles Burgess.
Oh, Burgess, not Sturgis.
Wait, what the fuck? It was discovered by Charles Walcott. Wait, so why is it called the Burgess Shale?
That was
That was his
street name.
nickname in college.
Yeah. It was his. He was in a improv troupe, and that's how he went through by Gerbils Burgess.
He named it because it was nearby Mount Burgess in the Canadian Rockies.
Ah, yes, the Canadian.
That was discovered
Rockies.
by the Canadian Gerbils Burgess.
Yeah,
By Walcott.
the state flower. The Gerbils.
It's like, oh hey, there's a mountain over there.
And it's got the fossils on the Cambrian are mostly like these sorts of like flat fossils that have been just like smushed down over hundreds of millions of years. And so they're all these like really, really detailed 2-dimensional like snapshots of a little dead critter. So a lot of them were little tiny guys, like 2 or 3 inches long. But then you also have like the first apex predators were these like giant nasty shrimp that were up to about 3 feet long.
Yo, I would eat that shrimp cocktail.
Oh yeah, it looks delicious.
Could you imagine ordering like shrimp fried rice and just one of those bad boys just slapped on top of it?
Oh yeah. It would be pretty well. I can't eat shrimp, but I'm
Wow.
sure that other people would really like it.
That's true. That wasn't I get that. That was more for everybody who can.
Yeah, I personally, I'm not a shrimp guy, but you know that's just how these things are. Sometimes.
Well, at that point,
sometimes
they
you
wouldn't
just
be
don't eat
called
shrimp.
a shrimp because shrimp is usually like, yeah, a shrimpy guy, a little small little doodad. So we'd have to call them blimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
Oh yeah.
So what about the Cambrian Explosion?
Yeah. When does the explosion happen?
This is the explosion. I'm talking about the explosion.
Oh.
It's a metaphorical explosion. It's explosion
Wait,
of life.
hold on.
This whole time,
Did you just-
think it was an actual explosion?
It's called the explosion.
That's true.
Zach.
I'm waiting for like this big eruption something to happen.
No, it's the explosion of life.
I was told an explosion would happen,
Yeah.
It's a
and
metaphorical
I'm waiting.
explosion.
Oh, but
I
that's
don't
bullshit.
like
Boo.
metaphors. That's like calling somebody a shrimp. I don't like that.
I'm dying.
Excuse me. This is the bait and switch, which is illegal.
It didn't even occur to me that you would think that there was an actual explosion just
Yes.
because I know what
It's
the Cambrian
called
Explosion is.
an explosion.
I'm
I'm
with
going to give you this
I-
hamburger. It's a theoretical hamburger, though.
It's an impossible burger. So,
It's an impossible burger. It's a vegan.
25 minutes to learn that the Cambrian Explosion had nothing to do.
So
They're laughing at
okay,
us.
I know. Why are you
They're
laughing at
laughing
us? Because we were.
Why are you
You tell us something's an explosion. We
laughing at you.
assume it's
I'm
You're
not
like, oh,
laughing
this
at you.
explosion.
I'm laughing
It's
at the
crazy. It's
situation.
such a huge explosion that happened, guys. Get
Yeah,
ready. It's
get
coming.
ready.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for some like
Here comes
volcanoes.
the
and shit.
explosion.
I want to make it 100% clear. I'm not laughing at you for thinking that because that's totally it didn't even cross my mind, and that is so fucking funny.
This is why I quit teaching.
Because you didn't explain explosions are theoretical. Oh, man. You gotta lay everything on the table, man. Yeah, we're street smart people over here. Be like, there's an explosion happening. We'll be like, okay, let's get it on the
Here
table.
it fucking comes.
And you're like, no, it's theoretical.
He's gonna talk about the explosion any minute now.
Yeah, like
I'm talking about it for
I need-
25 minutes.
I need to
What?
put my head under this table. I'm gonna put my hands over my head. If it's theoretical, we're just going through a drill here. You gotta let me know.
Ash is losing their mind over there.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I had to turn
I'm
away
waiting
the
for like a
microphone and
giant
everything.
explosion to like take out everybody and like make a
Well,
bunch
this is
of like
probably going to
fried
be
shrimp.
very boring for you.
I'm like waiting for like
Yeah.
a Pompeii kind of like style of explosion.
Yeah.
Some big ass.
Well, the well, maybe I can work in an explosion towards the end.
Don't, you can make a
I
fake
won't be lied
explosion.
to.
We'll believe it too.
So there's no explosions. That's what you're saying.
You know, it's explosion. My mind tell me there's no explosion.
The Cambrian Explosion was the intense speciation event in the ocean at this time.
The next major extinction event was like 50 million years after the Cambrian ended, and it was because of increased volcanic activity.
Is this a theoretical extinction or a theoretical volcano?
No, there was a shitload of volcanoes, and it fucked up the atmosphere, and a lot of stuff, like half of all life died.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That happened a couple times, I think, over the course of Earth's history. Like, volcanoes just started getting crazy, and then a bunch of stuff
sometimes the
died.
volcanoes get a little nuts.
Same.
I want that. I want that now, honestly. The old reset.
Boom. And
All right, so I'm gonna read off the names of some. Oh yeah, and so most of the fossils are known from the Burgess Shale in out west in like the Rockies and Canada, that whole area. But the Cambrian is named because the earliest rocks from like the ones that were found first, were in Wales, next to England, and Cumbria is the Latin name for Wales.
So Wales, the place that is theoretically named after a whale, not an actual whale.
I don't know why
I don't
Wales
think
is
so.
called Wales. I
They're
really
spelled
don't.
differently, so I don't think they're the same.
Maybe they're just made by a guy who didn't know how to spell Wales.
It's entirely possible. Okay, yeah, the Wikipedia etymology for Wales is like 3 paragraphs long, so I think that can be another episode on its own. But it's named after Wales. Isn't that
Wales.
fun? I know a
Wales.
Welsh guy. His accent's great. Okay, so
I'm trying to make a little noise. Sorry.
Hello,
Zach.
How are you today?
I'm a whale.
I'm from Wales.
I'm going to talk about a couple of animals from this time period, a few species of the 17,000. And so first we're going to do a dump or chump. I'm going to name off some really weird animal names, and then you got to tell me which one is the one that I made up.
Are you gonna name off like 50 of them again this time?
It's classic Zach fashion.
I would not do that. Just like
was
narrow it
gonna-
down.
Well, I was going to do 6.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
Okay,
try.
I'll do
We'll
4.
try. We'll try.
I'll do
That's
4.
better. I just want my odds, man. Just give me my odds.
Okay. Trilobite, Opabinia, Hallucigenia, and Wawaxia.
Okay. Sidebar. Ash, you already know this, right? I assume you do.
Probably.
Okay.
Not 100%.
Bo, get over here.
Hey, it's me. Hey, how you doing?
Hey. So trilobite, I know is real.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
What was the second one?
What was the second one?
I don't know.
What was the second one?
Opabinia.
Oh, bless you.
Opabinia? Don't know what that is.
The next one was hallucinogenia.
Hallucigenia.
Hallucigenia sounds like a fake drug in an 80s movie.
Yeah.
So if I had to
Well,
pick
that-
one, it'd probably be that one.
That one, yeah. The last one, the one that stuck out me the most.
Wawaxia, I think it was.
Wawaxia. That sounds like another drug in an 80s movie. Let's go. I'm fine with like hallucigenia
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you're good with that.
Mhm.
Okay. That's final answer. Hallucigenia.
Final answer?
80s
Final
drug
answer, yeah.
movie.
That's the final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to answer this one more time?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's- Yep.
Haha,
Theoretically,
you fool.
it was
Oh,
our
fuck.
theoretical final answer. That wasn't actually the final answer.
Yeah, you fool.
It was a trick question. They're all real.
Oh, fuck you.
No, what,
Why
no.
would you do that? That was so mean.
It's pretty rude.
What
Trying
is
to
it?
trick us dumb people over here. Think,
Oh, look at these fucking
I'm
idiots.
I'll
Oh.
remember
Well,
that.
I wanted to be like, wow, they actually named an animal hallucigenia. That's crazy.
I'm so
right?
mad at you.
Yes,
man.
and that's why we
Isn't that
picked
fun?
it. No, it's not
I
crazy.
think I know why you quit teaching, because you kept tricking your students.
Yeah.
Oh ho ho ho.
Trying to make a fool out of them.
Fool me once,
So
shame on you.
basically, what I'm
Fool me
learning
twice.
here is that you guys never like my episodes.
Yes, we do. Well, not even when you
This is
get
the
trick
last
us.
one that I did. You guys got mad at me the whole time.
Yeah,
too.
that was an awful
Well,
one.
that
was
one,
bad.
you held us hostage on that one. You even agreed that you held us hostage on that one. This one, you are trying to make us look like fools.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the
so-
big difference.
All right. So
Wait, hold on.
all right.
You said you had like 6 of them. Were they all 6 real?
Yes, all 6 of them
Oh,
were real. So the whole
fuck
thing was going to be, I was
you.
going to give you, you're going to think that it was a dump or chump, but actually, I was going to be
It
telling
was
you
just
that
a
all of them are
chump
real.
or chump. It was all
Yeah.
chump across
It's
the
the
board.
who's
Chumps
the chump?
all the way down.
Us. We're the
Mhm.
chumps.
It was a chump factory. It was,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
chump city,
Chump
population
factory.
us.
Yeah, boom.
Chump Factory.
You guys
I
wanna
like
come
that.
over
I
to
like
our
Chump
town?
Factory.
Chump Factory sounds like another cool band name.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
mine. I trademarked it, actually.
Oh, damn it. That's so quick.
So,
Go to my van.
Now, I was trying to think of a good way for this like section to go, since this would be a very visual thing talking about these animals, and this is an audio thing, right? So, what I was thinking of a way of making this a fun little game is that I'm going to tell you the name of the animal, then you guys describe what you think it'll look like. Like, what kind of animal do you think it is, just based only on the name? Then I'll show you a picture. Then I'll show you a picture, and then describe it to the best of your abilities. How does that sound?
Are we going to do like everyone tries to describe it, or are you just going to pick a certain person each time? Like you describe this one, and then you describe this one, or everyone describe this one.
I'll leave it open. I think it'll be with some more input. That'll be more fun that way. What do you think?
We'll see how it goes.
Ash, what do you think? Do you want to be involved in this part?
Yeah, I want to be involved in this part. I don't know that many fossils from this time. I just kind of know about this time generally.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm playing any favorites or anything.
It sounds like you are.
Well, we all know that Bo is the favorite of Zach.
Hey,
so
it's me.
Okay, well, I can pick somebody.
Pick me.
Do that. Do it.
Pick me first.
Okay,
give me the first one. Give me the first one.
Well, the first one that I'm going to do is Trilobite is first on my list.
Trilobite.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah.
The ocean is lousy with trilobites.
Zach is a trilobite. So the trilobite looks like it's crazy. It's got so many eyes, and it says trilobite because there's 300 eyes on it, and it bites a lot of things. Because it's surrounded on its left and right sides with a bunch of mouths that bite everything.
Oh.
And it bites in threes because it has OCD.
Wow.
Hence the try, huh?
Try.
Well, so there's two different things that are try, because it's try because it's 300 eyes, and it's try because it bites 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. It's on par with the OCD part of it. So that's what it looks like. It looks like it tries really hard.
The fedora.
Yeah, it does. It has a Tripoli, and it's a try. It's a nice guy. It looks like a pie, and it on the left eye has a sty, and its name is Guy.
Okay, a pretty good guess. I'm going to send in a picture. For each one, I've got a picture of one of the fossils, and then I have like an artistic recreation because the fossils are kind of hard to figure out sometimes.
Send it.
This one is pretty easy.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's exactly what I described.
Yep, that's how I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly to what you were saying. That's it.
So pretty much every single thing that I just said to you was correct.
Except for the fact that it's a big bug that has a lot of body segments, and it's really flat, and it's got 2 little antennae at the top and 2 little antennae at the back, and
300 eyes.
It's generally bulbous.
It does have
And a bunch
300
of mouths.
And it looks like a bunch of little tiny leggies on the bottom.
Yeah, lots of little leggies. So trilobites were like the most common animal that you'd find around this period. And they did technically evolve a little bit before the Cambrian proper, but they exploded along with everything else, metaphorically.
That's a metaphorical explosion. Just make that clear for all the listeners out there. They did not explode, unfortunately.
And so they adapted into a lot of different niches. There's a lot of subspecies and a lot of different adaptations. And
like trilobite, there's their adaptation to bilobite and quadruplobite.
Exactly.
They got like big ones and small ones and medium-sized ones.
And like some of them have like funny spikes on them. There's ones with like funky spikes. There's other ones that have these like weird like feathered antennae that they thought that they used for like signaling to each other and stuff like that.
There is one with
They
Groucho
crawl on the
glasses
ocean floor?
on with the big fake nose and the mustache.
Yeah, exactly. And they crawl around on the ocean floor. Now the next one I'm gonna do for Bo.
Yo, hey, it's me. Hey everyone, Bo here.
What do you what would you describe as Anomalocaris?
Can you use it in a sentence?
That's an Anomalocaris.
Yeah, look at that Anomalocaris over there.
The Anomalocaris was in the ocean just trying to make its way.
These are all ocean animals, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like this guy, he's got 2 hands, right? Almost like crabs, but like before the crabs have the claws, so they're kind of like.
Are you just talking like a New Yorker?
I don't know why, but like he's walking around, but his hands are bent, right? They're not fully out like crabs are. Like everyone put your hands like you're a crab right now. Everyone listening to like you got your arms to your side, like pinchers up. Nah, these are hands down,
Oh.
but they're not full.
Pinchers up, side to side.
Exactly. And they're just swimming, right? And they swim a lot, and it's all they do is they don't have. They have eyes and just clouds. And
They're clouds?
They're not really. They're not fully.
They're Swedish. They're from where Sweden is now.
They're not fully crabs but they're just big and round, right?
Oh, Klaus.
No legs yet, so they kind of just let the current take them.
All arms, no legs.
All arms, no legs. Yep. And then like the way they get around on the ocean floor is they stab their arms in the sand and pull them forward.
Like army crawling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
That's fair.
Hopefully a current doesn't take them away.
I like that. I'm into that. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Tell us what Anomalocaris actually looks like.
You're actually surprisingly close.
Oh, look at it's got
So
a hands
cute.
for feast.
Oh Lord, he coming!
Two big pincher-looking things on the front with two little cute little eyes and then a bunch of little finnies.
It doesn't have legs.
Nope, no legs.
I told you,
So
he's not
fucking
a
spot on, dude.
he's not a crab
Yeah,
yet.
it was really close. Anomalocaris means abnormal shrimp.
Oh, boo.
Oh, he's a spooky swim.
He's a spooky shrimp. And so those
So did the other
so
shrimp see him
just-
be like, "Fucking idiot, you're abnormal"? And then he's like,
So,
"Oh,
Bo.
I'm stabbing here." Yeah.
Watch out! I'm overcrawling into the sand. Ah. What?
All right. So describe this image for our listeners.
Which one?
I
There's
just
two.
did, I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
Ash
you have
Ash
to-
did. Ash did.
Okay.
Looks
So-
like
Two
looks
long
like a
antenna
Pokemon.
thing on the front, little eyes, a bunch of body segments with fins, and
It
little
does
fins
look
on
like
the
a
back.
Pokemon.
Mhm.
It straight up
It
looks
does look
like
It does look like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
So Anomalocaris is like probably one of the first predators and definitely the first like
look at him.
apex predator.
Oh, you get him.
Um,
He hasn't met me yet.
It was called
If I saw that thing coming at me, I would
Catch
giggle.
these hands.
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah.
Just do it. You ain't a predator. You're like a
so
How big was it?
hugger.
they varied in size there's a lot of different species. They were very successful and they varied in size a lot. The biggest ones were 3 feet long.
Oh, fuck.
That's gonna make
Yeah.
a lot of
I don't wanna
delicious
fight that.
fried rice with that
Yeah.
shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a weird disc-shaped mouth on the bottom of their head. And so those two claw thingies on the front were flexible and they would like grab stuff and like
Little
bring it up
stabbies?
to the mouth. Yeah, they would like wrap around it and
Wow,
bring it up
Bo.
to the mouth.
Oh,
You nailed it.
Yeah.
I just like crabs.
Freaking
so-
nailed it.
You killed that, dude.
Any
That's
answer you
like-
would have
It's
gave.
not, it doesn't really look like a crab, but
I know, but any
You-
answer you
you're,
would have gave
the,
me.
you're the wrong line of work. You should have been doing this shit.
Crabs.
is there a line of work for guessing the body plans of animals that your
Yeah.
friend gives to you?
Yeah, I think that's.
guess this
mean,
is the
it's-
line
it's
of work.
theoretical explosion
Yeah.
time. Like it's theoretical.
And so like the smaller species weren't like their mouths weren't hard enough to eat like things with hard shells, and they would eat like soft-bodied little critters on the ocean floor. But the big ones had
Fucking
like
nerds.
really strong teeth, and like the mouth, like their teeth marks have been found on trilobite fossils, and like trilobite bits have been found in like so some of the fossils in the Burgess Shale are preserved well enough that you can see things like in their stomachs and like what they've eaten recently, and a lot of these guys have trilobites in their guts.
It's fun. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And so there was kind of like an evolutionary arms race going on between the two of them. And so over time, you can see more defensive structures on trilobites, which is pretty cool.
Like hardened carapaces and things like that.
And like funky spines and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. All right. So now, Ash, the next one in my list, you definitely know what it is because I don't shut up about it. So I'm
Okay,
gonna
give me
skip
one I
back
don't
up
know.
that. Wawaxia. What do you think it is?
Wawaxia.
That sounds like your baby talking.
Mm-hmm.
Wawaxia.
Wawaxia. I think it's just
to make a Wawaxia.
silly- I think
This
it's like
one
a
is it's named after the Wawaxi Mountains, which are nearby.
I think that it's just like a silly little guy who likes to just like swim around, and he's like really smooth, like wicked, really smooth all the time. And I think he got a little expression on his face. It's like, oh, I don't know, I'm just a little waxia.
I can't. Yeah, that's yes. That's a yes.
Yeah.
I can confirm this as a theoretical also expert.
And
now.
just so smooth all over the place.
Okay, you're actually well, let's say the pictures.
Oh, dang it. I was going to say lots of tendrils, but
Whoa.
I didn't. It
looks
looks like
like-
a brain with some bendy knives coming out of
It
it.
does look like a brain with bendy knives coming out of it, and it looks
It's just
like
like a
it's smarter
purple-
than all of us.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Eldritch in an like unknowable kind of way.
Or it looks
It's-
like a alien meatloaf
Mm.
Oh,
because it's
With
purple.
a bunch of spikes coming out of
With a
it.
bunch of like blue spiny looking things coming out of the top.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that. I don't trust that.
It almost
Yeah.
looks like acrylic nails, like the shape of them.
Kind of
Mm.
does.
So those
It
are
looks like
called
it's made out of guitar picks.
Yeah.
So those are, I believe those are the sclerites, which are like basically like proto scales with spines. Yeah, and those are like protective spines coming out of them. And so this guy was a little tiny little guy. I mean, you were right when you said it was just like a little guy. And then he's basically just had a funky little slug foot on the bottom, and he would go around the bottom of the ocean and eat like little microbes off of the microbe mats.
That's fun.
He's a tiny little baby.
Just an interesting little guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, back to Andrew. This one's my
Oh,
favorite.
God.
So, this one is Opabinia.
Opabinia.
Opabinia. The name's not going to
well-
give you any help because it's also named after a nearby mountain range.
So Opabinia, it was actually they're Jewish. They were because they're Opa, like they were. Oh wait, this is Greek. Never mind.
That's Greek.
Scratch that first part.
Oh no.
It's all right. It's okay. I'm married to a Jew. It's fine. I'm not married to a Greek. A Greek? Is that a Greek?
Oh,
A
Greek.
Greek?
Oh.
So they were Greek. They're the first Greek. They had long flowing locks of something. I'm not gonna say it was hair, but there was something on them that was long and flowing.
So
They-
they were Greeks like how 400 whatever million years before Greece was a thing.
Exactly where Greece landed when Pangea was like, "I'm out of here." That's
explode.
that's where they're from. So they're there and they're very attractive. They have a terrible economy, and this is the animal or whatever this thing is, and they look like they have little feta cheese bits on their mouth.
I feel like you're really going in on the Greek people right now.
No,
they
this is not
started
the
it.
people. This is an animal I'm describing.
The Greek.
If you think
It
this
just
is
happens
theoretically
to
a
be a Grecian
person.
stereotype.
this is a theoretical
So what-
podcast.
All right, let me put in the actual image.
Yep.
That-
That's Greek.
That is such a
thing
cute
flows.
drawing.
That thing flows. That's Greek. So
It
it looks like
looks
it looks kind of like
the
it actually yeah, it looks like the one that Bo did. It's
it looks like Anomalocaris, but it's way more friend shaped.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like another shrimpy one. It's got flowing locks on it in the form
Are
of
those
little
eyes?
fins. It's got
Mhm.
like 5 bulbous eyes in the front of it that they honestly look like mushrooms, which is disgusting.
I think it's
There's
cute.
there's a lot of mushrooms in Greek food, so and then it has a trunk
Is that
like
true?
like an elephant.
But it's split at the end. It's bifurcated.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's adorable. I want to be its friend.
I think I wouldn't trust it for the first 6 months of knowing it, but after it proved its worth, I'd be friends with it.
This guy's one of my favorites. For the longest time, I wanted to get a tattoo of him because he's so cute, just doing his little
think you
snippy
should.
snaps. So there's a weird tiny little baby guy. They're about 1.5 to 3 inches long,
Oh, so tiny.
and so the little trunk thingy on the front was hollow, and it had a little graspy claw at it, and their mouth.
I'm so sorry. The trunk on the front, is it a frunk?
So
Show
the
me
frunk
what
had
that
a claw at
frunk
the
do.
end.
Show me that frunk.
So the front, their mouth was basically like on the underside of their head, like on that illustrated drawing, like where that little white lump is where their mouth was, and so the trunk would grab food and then go backwards to where the mouth is to bring it up to the
So
mouth.
these are the first elephants,
Yeah, these are the first elephants. That's exactly what it is.
theoretically. Greek elephants.
Except not at all. But it's unclear how related they are to the Anomalocaris. They have like that really similar sort of like lobe, Grecian fin situation on the sides, but obviously Opabinia was a lot smaller, and it has this funky trunk instead of the mouth parts. And
I love its
got,
funky trunk.
and it's got 3 more eyes, which is kind of a big deal. So it's unclear how related they are, but people have made arguments for various amounts of relatedness. All right, next one, Bo.
Yes.
How many do we have?
There's 2 more. So, Bo, do you want to do Hallucigenia or the Tully monster?
The Tully monster.
All right, what do you think the Tully monster
So
is?
this is
The
excited
Loch
for
Ness
this one.
monster.
Oh my God.
This is where the Teletubbies
Oh,
got their inspiration from. They're big old fat guys with a little arm, but they swim. But like the way these are also water creatures, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you know how they swim? It's like when you like just lay on your bed, you kind of just flop or like blah blah. But their heads also like how inspire the Teletubbies, but they have different symbols on top of their heads, different colors too. And
So it's like
6 feet
arthropod,
6 feet tall too,
Wawaxia.
6 feet tall, huh?
and breathes fire underwater.
See, that's a backstory I can get behind.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me show you the fossil and the picture. Wait, where did my fossil?
I'm
picture
waiting.
go?
I'm waiting.
The anticipation.
Oh,
What
what
the
the
fuck?
fuck? What the hell?
What's
an
a .avif file?
What the hell is
I have
this?
no idea. Let me pick a
Avif?
different one.
Oh my god.
That looks like a squid.
Yeah, it does, except for it's got a claw tentacle coming off of the front of it.
I hate that. That looks like
It looks
like the worst submarine.
A photoshopped squid with a claw on the front.
Yeah, it does look like that. It's if a squid had like an arm,
On the front. A trunk.
a frunk.
A frunk.
Yeah,
Why
you got
do
a
all
frunk
of these
situation.
have frunks?
It's the age of the frunk. It's the era of the frunk.
It seems like a good way to probably hunt and get resources, you know?
Everyone's all
Mhm.
frunky.
Yeah.
Everybody
Getting funky with it.
now.
Frunky
I will say, I
mamas.
mean, Bo, you weren't wrong about the whole thing coming out of their forehead. There's 2 things coming out of its foreheads. Granted, that's just intended as eyeballs, but you could say that is the first Teletubby because it's kind of shaped
It's
like
got-
a T.
The body of a squid, the eyes of a snail, the frunk of an Anomalocaris,
And a
and
beak.
and a big old crab claw right on the front of the frunk.
Mm-hmm. So this is Tullymonstrum gregarium. So it is really common in Illinois. It's the state fossil of Illinois, actually. And
Can you
so
say
it's
that name
found in
again?
A lot of Illinois, or do
No,
you mean Tullymonstrum gregarium?
That sounds like every metal musician's real name. Like, you
Yeah,
know, like
it
it's,
was-
it's never Jeff Smith. It's always some like Bartholomew.
Mr. Mayor.
Honestly, Tullymonstrum gregarium would be a pretty good band name. If it isn't
No one would be able to spell it.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
those shirts would be real confusing, and your Google searches would be terrible. Like people would
that's
try to
true.
find your band and be like, I would give up. I'm just gonna go to Creed.
Corn.
So it's
Oh
named
wait, no, this is
Tullymonster
corn on the
because-
cob.
Ah. So it's named Tullymonstrum because the guy who found it was named Tully. And the gregarium is like
Why do
gregarious. It
people
means
keep
it was
naming
common.
shit after themselves?
Oh, people name stuff after themselves. Would if you
Oh,
found a
I-
fossil, you
oh,
wouldn't want to name it
100%
after
name it.
yourself?
I'd be like, oh, it's
I
fucking, it's
The Bosaurus? Yeah.
the Murdersaurus
Oh,
shithouse or something, like something fucking crazy. I
Or
would
like
never be
something
like,
that you
that's
like-
the Andrew Saur. That's fucking boring. I hate my name. It's dumb.
I like my name, though. You're right about your name, though.
I'll just
Mm.
name everything Bo.
Thank
The
you.
Bosaurus Rex. The
Rawr.
Boaxia.
The bow monster.
The bow monster.
Yeah. So
The boaster.
from my
Ooh.
understanding, Illinois is lousy with these things, or at the very least, the
Fun.
Mason Creek Formation.
It's not the first
is
thing
full of
about
them.
it.
So it's a weird one, especially because even though the fossils are really common, it's still completely unknown if it was invertebrate, vertebrate. Like it is not. It doesn't have a phylum
Outvertebrate.
assigned to it. It's just in a clade. It's just there. People don't really know anything. It's not understood
So, like
very well.
the Loch Ness monster, it's a bit of a mystery.
It's a bit of a mystery.
So
He
remember
makes
when you
those
said,
too?
like, Bo, what job would you have? Like trying to describe shit that doesn't exist. This sounds like Bo's job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's all mystery.
Bo's pretty good at this. And so it is 3 to 14 inches long.
That's not 6 feet.
So it's not that big. It's not that big. I'm sorry, but maybe there were 6 foot ones and they just didn't preserve.
Thank you for
Possible.
giving me the benefit of the doubt. I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, he said
Don't
it
lie to him. Don't lie to him.
better. Lie to me.
That's not a lie. I love him so much.
Don't lie to me.
All right. So last one. Who wants to do hallucigenia?
I mean, it's me, right?
It's Ash's turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you.
Why would you skip that?
Spirals, and colors. It's got so many spirals on spirals on spirals on spirals, and just like changing colors all the time, like a cuttlefish, baby.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know if we would know if it would be able to change colors. You're not too
Don't-
far off with the spirals.
Don't lie to Ash. You just gave Bo a bunch of hope. Give Ash some hope. Go do it.
Okay, that's true. It is entirely possible that it had chromatophores and we just don't know about it.
100% agreed.
And
you heard it here first.
bioluminescence.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, too. They were glowing like a motherfucker. Ah!
Oh my god!
Oh, I hate that.
It's just like a spine with lots of tiny little legs and a bunch of spikes on the top. It looks like a
Oh
worm
my god! It
grew
looks like a worm.
centipede legs and then a
And
hedgehog
stood
spikes.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It grew centipede legs and it stood up. Like centipedes are usually like like tummy
Oh,
down
close
on
to
the
the
ground,
ground.
like shake. This thing looks like a Star Wars creature where it grew a shitload of legs and then stood up and then was walking upright.
Heaved
like some
its
sort of
long
fucking
body.
terrible thing that I hate.
And then it's got legs and it's got those weird little tentacles up at the front. It's got legs and it's got little feeler tentacles
And it's got
Yeah.
a mohawk.
of spikes.
Spike
So,
mohawk.
originally the spikes up at the top were thought to be the legs. And it wasn't until we found a lot more of them and like realized what the like ends of them were like that we were like, oh, okay. Or not we. I'm the paleontologists. We're like, oh, those are the bottom. Those are the
Yeah,
Oh,
if-
yes,
if
in
it was
humanity.
you, it would have been the zacapod. Zacalopod.
And then there was a good long while where people were arguing over which end was the head.
I mean, it's just a tube, so I can see how that would be hard.
It's 50-50 at that point. You're not going to be
Mhm.
wrong at least half the time.
Mm-hmm. Because it's all fucked up looking all around. And so this one was up to about 2 inches long. So it was also a tiny whittle baby.
Oh, little baby.
Well, if you stepped on that shit, that probably hurt so bad.
Mm-hmm. All right, so those are all the ones that I have. Which one was everyone's favorite?
My shrimp one because
I-
I was close to it.
Mhm.
I like the Greek one.
Opabinia.
The one where you call them Jews at
Opa-
first. You call them
Opabinia.
Jewish.
That one's the most friend shaped, and it looks really cute. And
It
the
does.
art that you chose for it, it's cute, and that's swaying my decision because it's adorable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of really cute pictures of Opabinia online.
I also like Anomalocaris, but he looks scary.
Oh, he was scary for sure. He'd tear your leg up or something. So I did find this scale picture.
Oh my god!
Oh God.
Oh wow, that's like the size of a good dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it could if Perry went for a swim and one of these things was around it
Oh,
might
yeah.
not be the best.
Perry
And
would
eat
ride
Frankie
it like
for
a
sure.
surfboard.
That's true.
So the Cambrian Explosion lasted about 40 million years. Depending on who you ask, more recently, people have estimated that it all happened in only about 20 million years. And these things are bound to change as dating techniques are kind of like refined and figured out. And so a lot of these animals ended up going extinct. about 100 million years later in the Ordovician-Silurian extinction, which was 440 million years ago, the one I was talking about where all the volcanoes choked out everything. But then, like,
So the
trilobites stayed
Cambrian
around.
explosion ends with an explosion.
Yeah,
technically.
so you could say that. That's something that you could say. By 500 million years ago, plants were growing on land. The first animals with 4 legs evolved 400 million years ago. 60 million years after that, they joined plants on land after the plants were lonely. So for 160 million years, the land had plants but no animals.
Is this after the Cambrian explosion?
Yes, I'm just letting you know what happens next.
Save for the pod, man.
Then it's like a teaser for like when I eventually end up talking about like dinosaurs and stuff. And so like after this, we've got the Devonian, the Ordovician, Silurian, the Devonian. The Devonian has one of my favorites with Dunkleosteus, which is a really
big
big
dunks.
fish.
Yeah.
Really, really big fish, which is great. Then
It's a real big fish.
Y'all
really
get hyped
big
for
fish.
big dunks.
yeah, it's a sellout and has a girlfriend now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I love you.
And then 251.9 million years ago, apparently they're very good at dating this one, was the Permian Triassic extinction event, which is the closest that the Earth's ever come to becoming completely barren of life, with 81% of marine species and 70% of land species going extinct, which sucks, but it set the stage for the dinosaurs to take over, and the rest
Save it
is
for the pod.
prehistory.
Save it for the pod.
You
The
didn't let me
rest is
finish.
prehistory.
I see the
Let me
wheels
finish.
churning, and
You
I
son
know
of a
you're gonna
bitch.
keep going.
You fucking ruined it.
Oh, say it again. Sorry, go again. I'm listening.
And the rest is prehistory.
Hey, oh, hey, let's go, baby.
I'm sorry. I just want to stop you before you got too far.
All right. And so that was it.
Are you
That's
gonna make
what I
that into
got.
a shirt?
What? And the rest is prehistory?
Yeah, like with your face on it, like winking and pointing. Like,
No, in
Maybe.
an Amalek or an
That'd be fun.
Opabinia winking and pointing.
Oh my god, that'd be so cute. Is there some way that you can make it so that his little frunk is doing like a point? It's like pointing.
Or like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
a frunks up. Hey,
Hey. All right.
that was good. I learned a lot.
yeah.
I learned that
Um,
that it wasn't a goddamn fucking explosion, which made me sad. But then I learned what all
sorry.
these things look like, and it made me. Not
And there
as
were
sad.
so many more. Like if you like go and look up some of these creatures from the Cambrian, like there's so many of them and they're all wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and they're all really weird, which is why it's so fun to like just look at pictures of them. So is it time for the hubba buys now?
Andrew, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, thanks for listening to Get Dumped On Info Dump podcast about the Cambrian non-explosion, theoretical explosion for those listening who are still here. Again, not a real explosion. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and thanks for evolving into this thing from the thing. I got nothing.
And I forgot that at the beginning there during this were also evolved some very things that were close to fish but not exactly fish, and they had
There
a
he goes.
cartilaginous thing that they used to go back and forth, and that eventually became
the rest is
the
prehistory.
spinal cord. That eventually became a spinal cord, so they're the first vertebrates, and their descendants
me?
are lampreys.
Save for the pod.
Or
Save. You got.
lampreys.
Save. You got. Save for the pod.
Keeps going.
Save for the pod.
Okay.
Calm down. Calm down.
This is the pod.
This is the pod. This is the pod that he would talk about that.
An arthropod.
Oh,
Ash and Zach are super smart. They went to college and learned a bunch of stuff. And Bo and Andrew didn't go to college because that's the way life goes sometimes. What happens when you put them together and you try to make them learn? Grab your friends, let's listen together on Get Dumped On an Info Dump podcast. All right, that's it. That's it. End of the
Okay,
joke.
hubba
End of the
bye,
joke.
hubba bye. Okay, bye, okay, bye, hubba bye. Bye, 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 bye. Thanks for listening, bye.
Remember when,
Hey,
remember
bye.
when Andrew called Jewish people Greek?
Yes.